Hey friends, and welcome back to a new video. Today, let's talk about lying. Research shows that on average we lie about 2 times a day, with teenagers lying more than the average of 3 times a day. We start lying at about the age of 2, and without anybody teaching us what lying is or how to lie, we do it all by ourselves. And usually simple things like lying to protect ourselves, saying that we didn't knock over that glass of water even though we did, or to gain some type of favor. So, for example, saying that we did brush our teeth in order to be able to watch TV. Now, the older we get, the more complex our lies get as well, and we start telling white lies. These are harmful little lies that we tell either to protect someone or to be polite, like saying, "Wow, that dress looks really good on you," even though you might not think so. Us humans often don't have a big problem with lying. We can lie very easily, and the irony is that even though we lie quite a lot to anyone and everyone, we value honesty and trust a lot too, which is why researchers say that we are so bad at detecting lies. If someone introduces himself as Steve and he says he works at the bank, we wouldn't question that. We wouldn't second guess if his name was really Steve or if he really worked at the bank, just because we don't expect him to be lying. Why should he? Mostly we tell rather small lies like, "Oh, I didn't vacuum because I forgot to," or "I really love the gift that you gave me last week." But research also shows that during our lifetime there is usually one occasion where we tell a bigger lie, for example, in order to cover up an affair. It is thought that lying actually came about just when language came around. So as soon as we were able to communicate verbally, the lies started happening. It is said that this is so because it was so much easier to deceive someone with your words than to overcome them physically, like hitting them over with a club in order to steal their food. Now, we can categorize lies in about 3 different categories. So firstly, there are the lies that promote ourselves. So lies that we tell in order to gain social favor or financial favor. Secondly, there are the lies to protect ourselves. So lies that cover something up that we might have done, or lies that we tell in order to avoid people or to avoid confrontation. The third lies that we tell are those that try to influence others. So either lies that try to protect other people, lies where we're trying to be polite to not hurt their feelings, or even lies that have malicious intent with the intent to hurt other people or manipulate other people. We're really creatures that are hardwired to trust each other. We don't expect someone to be lying to us. And sometimes we even want to hear the lies, especially if they fit into our worldview. We're much more likely to accept those lies. For example, if you already believe that there is no such thing as global warming, then you will much more believe the lie that someone else tells you that just confirms your belief already. It is said that especially during this age of social media, we're being lied at even more than usual, and we deceive others even more than usual. Whether lying is good or bad is more of a moral debate, but I think most people will agree that lying isn't a good thing. We teach our children that we shouldn't lie. So I really wanted to test out how much I actually lie and what I lie about. So I decided to do an experiment and to tell myself not to lie for 2 weeks, and this is what happened. Every time I accidentally told a lie or felt like I wanted to lie, I wrote that down, when it was and what it was about, so I could remember that. And also I just wanted to see how dishonest I am compared to the average, and how much it would actually change my life if I was more honest, or pretty much honest all the time. So what I can tell you was that this challenge was pretty hard. Now, not because I wanted to lie all the time, but because I actually forgot that I was doing this challenge. So I had to keep reminding myself that I didn't want to lie today and that I needed to pay attention to whether I was lying, because what I found out was when I told a lie, it came pretty naturally and pretty automatic that I didn't even realize I was lying. So I had to then go back and think, wait a minute, did I just lie? Some days I didn't even know whether I lied or not. So as far as I could tell, I lied about 8 to 10 times during those 2 weeks. So I feel like that is pretty good. That is less than I thought and less than the average. But as I said, I'm not sure if I managed to catch all my lies. Also, the fact that I felt like I was lying so automatically was really scary to me. It wasn't like I was lying all the time. I think I just didn't lie as much in general, just because also we're in quarantine now and I'm only kind of spending time with my boyfriend, maybe talking to family and friends on the phone. And there's just not much precedent to lie. But it was still very scary to think that I was lying so automatically. A simple example would be the question, "Are you okay?" And I would just shoot right out with, "Yeah, I'm fine," even though when I thought about it, maybe I wasn't fine. Maybe there was something that was on my mind. But small things like that that are so automatic were kind of scary, because that is in fact also a lie. Now, I categorized my lies into the 3 categories that we discussed before, and I found out that 6 out of 8 times I lied in order to protect myself. I said I wasn't shopping online when I was. I said that I didn't see your missed call even though I did, and I lied that I only needed 10 minutes more even though I knew I needed at least another 20 minutes, and I lied saying that I was fine even though I wasn't. Now, these are all things that can be categorized into lies to protect myself. Now, the lies that I told weren't any dramatic lies, but it is interesting to see that I think most of us humans do care so much about ourselves and are very egocentric that we lie mostly when it comes to wanting to protect ourselves. I had lied politely once in order to make someone not feel bad about themselves, and I had also lied for social gain once, which I'm not proud of. I had lied to my neighbor saying that I liked something of his or hers, where in fact that was not true. And the only reason I did that was to gain their favor, so they saw me more positively in their eyes. Now, did I feel like it was hard not to lie? Yeah, I did, because it came so automatically, and beforehand, I would have thought that I would be able to tell right away when I was just about to tell a lie, or if I had just told a lie. But oftentimes, I didn't know whether I lied or not, or I just didn't catch myself lying as easily as I thought I would be able to. Now, what are some things that surprised me? Well, for one, that I lied less than I thought I would, but maybe that is just because of the situation that we're quarantined and I'm not in contact with so many people. I do feel like when you have a different lifestyle, when you go to work every day, when you encounter different people and different friends, then you would likely lie even more. Now, after all this, do I think it's better not to lie? I would say yes and no. So yes, I would say it's better not to lie. I felt like when I was more honest, I was forced to over-communicate, which I think is a good thing. So instead of saying, "Oh, sorry, I didn't see your missed call," I would have to explain myself and say, "Hey, I did see that you called, but I'm really sorry, that was such an inconvenient time. I'm currently spending quality time with a family member and I'll call you back later." Now, this way we over-communicated. We said that we had seen and acknowledged their call and we care about them, that we do want to call back, but now it's just not a good time. And yeah, this way the friend that called will know what is going on. They won't just be wondering and thinking, why didn't she answer? Why didn't she call back? And things like that. And also, I think it's not necessarily better to be honest all the time, because for one, in the long run, if you're honest for years on end, there are probably some people that you might offend, some feelings that you might hurt, and life could feel a little bit more complicated because you have to kind of explain yourself more and over communicate and say what the reason behind things are, instead of being able to just brush them off and say, oh, I'm fine, oh, I forgot, and things like that. So it's a yes and a no. So my takeaway from this experiment is, for one, that lying is quite automatic and it's hard not to lie because of that. Also, being more honest forces us to over communicate more, which can be a good thing for relationships in my opinion. Also, being honest might scare some people away, but also I feel like we should keep in mind that just because we're honest doesn't mean that we should be mean to people. We can say that I personally don't think the hairstyle is super pretty, but we're very proud of how brave they were to go with this new style. Now that was being honest without being mean and saying that it looks horrible on them. Now personally, after this experiment, I will try to be more honest and catch myself if I am on the verge of lying, because I am a big believer in over communicating. I feel like it is something that our relationships with friends or family really need. We need to over communicate. We often think that people just know what we're thinking, but that is not the case. But also I think lying sometimes is also okay. If someone's asking you what's wrong and you just really don't want to talk about it, you just need your peace and quiet and you don't want to explain yourself, then that is fine as well. But all in all, I thought that this challenge was really insightful and really interesting and harder than I thought. And I really want to encourage you guys to try this out as well. You don't have to do 2 weeks, you can just do 1. But yeah, I think that you can learn quite a lot about yourself. So let me know in the comments down below if you are intrigued and interested in trying this out. If you thought this video was interesting and insightful, then be sure to give it a thumbs up. That lets me know that you like this video. And thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos of me and of my channel, I do kind of health and food and mental health related things, and we just have so much fun on this channel, so be sure to check it out. And if you'd like to support me, you can of course do so over on Patreon. 20% of the contribution on Patreon go to charity, which is an amazing, great thing. So be sure to check that out as well. The link is down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!